Hey, good morning. Welcome to YouGarden. Here we are.
In our potting shed, in our happy place.
Yeah, no gilets, it's warmer, it's lighter, there's daylight driving to work today.
Yeah.
And we've got so many great ideas. And do you know what? And it sounds awful. I don't want to wish my life away. I don't want you to wish your life away. But as gardeners, we do sometimes struggle a little bit in winter.
Yeah, it can be really tough, can't it? Because obviously we've got shorter days. Yeah. It can be difficult sometimes to get out there. Though, do you know what? When you do get out sometimes, you're like, actually, it's lovely out here. It's so nice out here. I had a day like that the other day. Yeah. I was sitting there feeling really miserable on the settee with a hot water bottle. And then I took the dog out and I was like, oh, this is lovely. So sometimes you just have to force yourself to get out there.
Well, the great thing is the weather is definitely picking up over the next few weeks. There's going to be some really nice days to get out in the garden. A few things you need to know. Yeah. If you spend £40 or more, you will get free delivery. You just need to use a special code for this week, which is YGTV0424. Just mention it, but you get 100 free bulbs with every order. And these are not, sorry, 150. These are not your early spring bulbs. They're sort of, I would say, late spring into early summer.
Yeah, absolutely. You're getting a mixture in here. You're getting 5 different varieties in here. So we're going to start. There's Muscari in there.
So they're kind of, I mean, yeah, they're a bit
March,
later.
April,
yeah,
about 20 centimetres in height. You've got your anemones in there.
Yes.
So 40 of those. They're sort of between March and May time, about 15 centimetres in height. Then we're going on to the tulips, the sky-high tulips. So these are the tall ones. They're about 90 centimetres ultimate height you can get on those between April and May. Then we're starting to step into more, late spring and early summer with your Ixia, 40 of those, May into June, reaching about 50 centimetres in height. And then we've got the beautiful alliums, the spherocephalons. They're the drumsticks, aren't they? Yes, they are. So July and August time is when they're going to come up, and those are beautiful, really strong stems, and they look like a drumstick. They've got these lovely kind of clusters at the top there, and they look absolutely beautiful. I'm a big fan of alliums.
So it really is a spring to early summer collection, worth £20, free with every single order that you place on the show today. But we are so excited. Do you want to start right or left, Bex?
Let's go left.
I'm thinking left too.
Or right to you people.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Our left,
you're right.
Dahlia dinner plates.
So, we both love dahlias.
I love them.
But these are the huge dinner plates. These flowers can be up to 8 inches
8
each
inches in diameter.
per flower.
Absolutely,
8
and
inches.
you get so many flowers from
Wow.
your dahlias. There's a few tricks to making sure you get more flowers as they grow. You pinch them out, it creates a much bushier, healthier plant that gives you more flowers, but ultimately very, very easy for you to grow, and you are getting a double up deal included here. So you can go for 5 tubers, or if you go for the double up deal, you can get 10 of these.
Right, hang on, that works out. Ding, 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 £1.50 a dahlia.
Yes, absolutely. £1.50 per dahlia plant, obviously.
Yeah, of
because
course.
you will get multiples of these flowers on here. And it is absolutely spectacular gardening, this. There's people out there who, I mean, they're just itching, aren't they, to get into dahlia season. They cannot wait.
Yeah. Do you know what? I run a local garden club, and we have got a guy called Andy doing a whole talk on dahlias in September. And he grows, he's a local guy where I live, he grows 150 varieties of dahlias.
Nice.
Does he grow dinner plates there?
Does he grow dinner plates?
I am so excited about these. Now, they have been a top seller previously. It's the first time we've had them back. In terms of planting, you can plant now, but you just need to get them frost-free, don't you?
Frost-free, that's it, yeah. So ideal time for planting would be towards the end of February. So, getting these home right now is perfect timing once these get delivered. Keep them under cover, keep them frost-free, but get them planted now. Get that beautiful, gorgeous foliage growing. And as I say, do the pinching out. You'll see where it happens. So you'll get like a branching stem like this, and then you get a little growth in the middle. You want to pinch that middle bit out, and then that encourages a bushier plant.
Yes, so that looks going to mean more flowers, isn't it?
It's going to mean more flowers in the end. That's pretty much the only thing, from my own experience, that I will encourage you to do. If you don't do that, you'll still get flowers, you just won't get as many.
I think they're one of the easiest plants to grow. I've grown them in borders, I've grown them in pots, but this is about size.
Yeah.
And on this occasion, size does matter because the flowers 8 inches big.
That's the size of a dinner plate. That's
Yeah.
why they're called the
Yeah.
dinner plate mix here. They can be absolutely huge. You've got a beautiful mix of colours and so many petals. It's layer upon layer upon layer of petals. And you can keep those gorgeous colours outside in your garden. But dahlias are fantastic to use as cut flowers as well. So you can go around your garden, you can cut those flowers. It will also encourage more blooms to come through. And right the way through, from around June time is when they first start flowering, all the way through to September, right the way through to those first frosts. That's when you will just get multiple flowers from those.
I'm so excited about those. And the deal today, I'm not being funny, if we had one of these potted up in summer, in flower, you could be talking £15, I would say, conservatively for one.
Easy.
Right now, you're going to get all 10 if you double up for just £14.98. We can have £1.50 each. Now we've got lots of you in the group chat.
Good morning.
Morning. Ruth.
Oh, hello, Ruth. Afsar.
Oh, I've shed a bit of flesh there. You don't want to see that, do you? Hang on.
Good morning, Neil. Good morning,
Morning, Neil.
Elena.
That's better. There you go.
Good morning to you all. Oh, Ian. Alison. Good morning. Angela. Penny. Oh, there's a lot of names I haven't heard before. This is wonderful.
So thank you for tuning in. We're here live until 1 o'clock. We've also got, you can always chat on YouTube, Facebook. We've got a brand new email thanks to our Stu, head of technical.
Well done, Stu.
And it's a nice, easy one that Bex and I can remember.
She says that looking at the screen.
Yes.
ygtv@yougardens.com. It's a great way to keep in touch with us.
Now.
Wonderful place if you want to send us any pictures. That's probably the best place to send us pictures so that Stu can get hold of those. But obviously keep chatting in the Facebook and YouTube, chat on there as well.
We like that. So ygtv@yougarden.com. I say I've learnt it looking away from the screen.
Nailed it. Oh, he's received some pictures. We will show those later on in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, showing the houseplants.
So don't forget, spend £40, you get free delivery. Join the club, you get 10% off all the plants on the show. Use the offer code and you get all of the deals, including your free spring to summer flying bulbs as well, 150 worth £20. Right, are we ready for more new?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
Shall we go darker than usual, Bex? Dark and mysterious.
Absolutely. This is the black calla lily. The Xantadeschia cantor is what we're talking about here. I'm going to hand over to Shaun here.
Xantadeschia.
Xantadeschia.
Xantadeschia cantor.
I'm actually going to hand over to Shaun because I have seen the pictures of your calla lilies and they are incredible.
I absolutely love calla lilies.
I love calla lilies.
Honestly, I mean, I have got these. I've got a mixture of calla lilies. And they are so dramatic. I love the shape of the flowers. I love the foliage. So I've had some of mine for probably 12 years, maybe even longer.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Well
They come out UFG. I do. Sometimes I keep them frost-free in the winter.
That's it, yep.
So I've even stored mine in the garage. I keep them in the pots. I've even stored them in the garage, stopped watering them. And then when the frost, when I know there's not going to be any frost, I start to take them outside in the pots, start to water them, start to feed them, which is really important. You start to get all of the foliage coming through, depending on where you live, but April, May time, and then in the height of summer, you get the most amazing shaped flowers. And the black here that you get, I mean, you get very few true black flowers in the garden. These are going to look absolutely spectacular. It's like black, but there's a little bit of burgundy in there as well.
I think they are the most stunning, honestly. And I think if you were to mix these into, somewhere where you've got lighter coloured flowers as well, they're just going to stand out absolutely beautifully.
Personally speaking, I grow all of mine in pots because you've got to keep them frost-free.
Yeah, I mean, you can, I think that's perfectly reasonable. You can lift them if you want to plant them out into borders, of course you can, but it just makes life a little bit easier if you have them in pots, because you can just move the pot rather than having to lift the actual, plants out.
And what I do, when the flowers go over, I chop the flowers off, but I leave all the foliage because the foliage still looks great.
Yeah, because you get that lovely, luscious foliage
really
there, don't
nice.
you? Really easy. Now, obviously, with these, you're going to be starting them off from bulbs. They're kind of bowl-shaped, aren't they? So
they are.
Bowl-shaped up when you're planting them. Keep them warm and well-watered for the first couple of weeks. And it's good to get hold of these now. You want to be starting to plant these, relatively soon. So it's bowl-shaped up, and even suggesting putting them somewhere, like an airing cupboard. They do want a nice bit of warmth, in fact, to get them started. Once you start seeing the green shoots, you can then bring them out, put them somewhere again, frost-free, grow them on, and it's at the point when the frosts have passed that you can then take them outside. Yeah. And if you get to the stage that Shaun's got to, where he's more than 10 years old...
I'll be honest, mine are so well established.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that. I've just got them in pots. I store them in either the greenhouse or the garage. I do sometimes put a bit of fleece over the pot just to protect it. Yep. But mine just come back UFG. And I have divided them over the years as well. Yeah. All of my friends have got canna lilies. They're amazing.
Yeah, I love them. Very beautiful shape, lovely contrast of colours. Definitely a classy addition into your garden.
And that is 63223. Postage is included, £9.99 for 3. Or if you double up, you get 6 for £14.98. We've had some sad news from Hazel. Hazel.
Hazel.
The storm's not been kind to greenhouse.
No, I'm so sorry. It's awful, isn't it? Is it destroyed, or is there some saving it? The glass at one end has gone. Oh, bless you.
Well, I hope you managed to get it sorted, Hazel.
I do as well.
And hopefully that is the end of the storms this
Fingers crossed, because we've had Aisha, and we've just had Jocelyn, haven't we? So I'm hoping that's it now for the storms.
Well, we checked the weather for the next few weeks, and it looks so much better.
Right.
Yeah. But sorry to hear that, really am.
Well, hopefully we can cheer you up, Hazel. Yeah. Stick with us. We might have some things that you might like.
I had a patio heater, and it was a big patio. We hardly ever used it, to be fair, but it had a nice bar area underneath it.
Right.
So that
gone.
Yeah. It looks like a mangled bit of old metal now. Yeah. So
I think I've been quite lucky.
They're not great for the environment anyway, so it's probably a good thing.
It's probably a good thing.
It's probably a good thing. But I reached just sitting underneath it, even if it wasn't on. But anyway, yeah, it's a mangled bit of metal. We did wake us up with this massive clunk, and we realised, what is that? Yeah. Right, moving on. We're going to cheer everyone up this morning because look at this dahlia. It's the Blackberry Ripple.
Yeah.
Brand new, £9.99 for 3 tubers, or again you can get for 6 for £14.98. What a stunner this one is, isn't it?
Total stunner.
Wow.
Yeah, this one's a standout one, isn't it? You've got that gorgeous mix of colour, really fascinating, kind of spiky looking. They're not spiky, but spiky looking blooms on here. And it's just layer upon layer upon layer of petals that you're getting from this. Wonderful colour mix with the pinks and the raspberries and the burgundy colours included in there. And we are talking about months of colour from dahlias. Dahlias keep going, don't they?
Yeah, just take off the dead flowers and then just come back year after year.
And you just keep getting flowers throughout that flowering season. June, July, August, September, flower upon flower upon flower. You want a sunny spot for your dahlias. They definitely don't want to be shoehorned into a shady corner. They definitely need a decent amount of sunshine. But other than that, ridiculously easy to grow. You can obviously lift your tubers at the end of the season because you do need to keep them frost-free, so you can, grow them again next year, which is very simple to do. Generally, you just wait for the first frost to happen. It kind of blackens the bits, and then you can dry them and store them. But ridiculously easy to get started and easy for you to get constant displays throughout the summer. Cottage garden classic.
Do you know, I'm just going to say, I think dahlias, they were really popular when I grew up, and then they did go out of fashion a bit.
Yeah, but they're massively back, aren't they? They are. They are in fashion now. They are on vogue.
They really are.
Yeah.
So if you want to be on trend in your garden, I mean, I normally don't give 2 hoots, but
I just want beautiful colour, you know, flowers, fragrance, all of those sorts of things. And with your dahlias, you definitely get a riot of colour.
Yeah. And I just think it's an old expression, but you do get a big bang for your buck.
Definitely.
You do. You get masses of flowers all summer long.
Yeah, and actually good foliage as well, don't you? You get lovely kind of thick foliage at the bottom and these beautiful flowers rising up.
And they'll come back year after year, as long as you keep them frost-free over the winter. So if they're in pots, you just bring the pots into the garage, the shed, whatever. If it's in the ground, you can lift them. I mean, my mum used to live in York, and she had a couple of dahlias that survived every winter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, York is fairly north, fairly cold. But generally speaking, you should lift them if it's going to be really cold.
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. I was going on Facebook and on Instagram and seeing everybody talking about their dahlias towards the end of the season, around October time last year, and they were on, are we lifting the dahlias? Are we not lifting the dahlias? There was lots of conversation on Instagram about it.
Yeah. And they do, often they do survive.
Depends where you live. You need to make that decision.
Yeah, we don't want you coming back to us going,
I didn't lift my dahlias, it's your fault.
But my mum's, if my mum was watching, it was in the front garden to this massive pink and white one, and The odd year when it was really cold, it would maybe come back a bit smaller. She maybe lose a bit of it, but it, always survived.
Yeah.
But we recommend...
We are recommending lift them or move the pots.
Yes.
Put them frost-free. But dahlias are definitely worth having in your garden, just for the amount of flowers and the amount of different colours that you can get. And if you wanted the mixture, I would definitely say go for the dinner plates, because you've got a mixture of colour and those beautiful sizes, and then go for the Blackberry ripple as well.
That's the first time I've seen the Blackberry ripple, is it you,
Yeah,
Bex?
me too, actually. I think that's new for me.
Brand new on the show on YGTV, 6:30-314. If you do want the dinner plate ones, called dinner plate, because every flower can be up to 8 inches in terms of diameter. What would that be in circumference, Bex? I only said that for a laugh, by the way. There is some kind of equation.
There will.
Oh, Stu,
I knew Stu would know. And I was going to say, I'm sure pi has got something to do with it.
I can't remember. I'm
trying.
taking you back to your school days, because there's definitely
There's definitely an equation. That's the word you're looking for.
It is.
I was trying to help my son with his homework last night. He's got a test today in physics, and it was all about magnetism. And I was like,
I know. It's so. Isn't it sad when you sort of like realise that the kids know a lot more than you, and you can't do the homework?
I was like, what's a solenoid? Do you know what a solenoid is? Stu knows.
I remember the name.
It's a curved piece of wire. It's a coiled piece of wire.
Really?
All to do with magnetism.
Oh. Right, anyway, should we make it easy? Your daily dinner plates, the flowers are about 8 inches in terms of diameter across. So if you measure a flower on these, 8 inches across. That's all right, isn't it? But they're big, they're beautiful, they're bold, they'll flower all summer long.
I mean, that's the size of my head.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Probably.
Should we measure my head now and see?
They're big. They're going to look amazing.
And so many beautiful colours as well.
Sunny spot again.
Yeah.
Well drained, I always think, as well.
Well drained, and sometimes they need a bit of support.
They do.
And
we all need that from time to time.
It's true. Sometimes they need a bit of support, which might just be, some string tied around to support them. We're not necessarily talking stakes, but yeah, they just need a little bit of support.
But they honestly, the dinner plate variety are incredible. Brand new today. Let us know if you're getting hold of those. 6:30-319. Double up, and you have got either that's really good. 5 for 99 but $14.98 for 10. That works out less than $1.50 each.
I know, that's incredible.
But just keep them frost free. So get them started in pots. We do say sort of like end of February. You could start early.
Yeah.
But just make sure that they are frost free. I don't know about you, but where I live, there's going to be no frost the next few weeks.
I have no frost coming up for at least 2 weeks. I think it is.
Yeah, at least.
So they can say anyway.
Yes. So nice to get up today, not having to for the car.
I know.
It's great. Right, we're gonna move on now to an absolute beauty. It's called
more big flowers.
Bowl of Beauty.
More big flowers.
So we were both trying to decide what went on the show today, because we've got too much, to be honest. So we've saved some things for tomorrow and Sunday, but we both could not bear to leave this one out.
I know. I adore this one, and again, it's another customer favourite. This one is, it's always popular every single time that we bring this to you. And the peony is, I said it before, but it's highly anticipated, isn't it? The peony flowering season. It's short, but it is highly anticipated because they are so, so beautiful. And this one in particular, I think, is extra beautiful because you've got that beautiful bowl of colour from those pretty pink flowers, but then the wonderful yellow centres on there as well. Buttery, creamy yellow centres. And each one of these flowers can be 20 centimetres in diameter. How many inches is that? Good 8 inches? 20 is 8. I'm doing my conversions. I can be imperial and metric. Check me out.
What's the circumference of this one?
Not a clue. So these are massive, massive flowers, and also with your bowl of beauty, you can form clumps with these over time, so you can divide these. Obviously, I'm not talking in first year. This is, a few years down the line, but of course, you can then divide these and get free flowers from them. What we will say is that you are buying bare roots here, so of course they're going to take a little bit of time to establish. This is not about getting the most floriferous flower display in the first year. You will get a little bit of flower, maybe a couple of flowers in the first year, but next year and the year after, wow, the number of flowers you will get from this will be absolutely incredible.
God, I mean, I grew up loving peonies, but I only ever saw just the pink ones, really. The crimsony pink. But to get that wonderful contrast, pink and yellow together, it's quite extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah.
Love them. They've got a beautiful scent, haven't they, peonies? Love the smell that you get from peonies. May into June. maybe tipping July, depending on where you
Again,
live.
it depends where you live, but yeah.
Let's say somewhere between May and July is when you get your flowers.
Mine last year definitely came out at the end of May.
And they normally last, how long do they last for? About 4 weeks,
I'd say,
3 weeks?
Yeah, it's about 4 weeks.
Yeah, about 4 weeks you'll get your peony flowers.
So it's not a long flying period, but it is. When you get beauty like this.
Spectacular though, isn't it?
Yeah. A friend of ours who used to be very involved in the garden shows, Angela, this was one of her favourites.
It was, wasn't it? Oh, lovely
her.
Angela.
Yeah, who now lives in France.
Living it up.
But yeah, this is an absolute beauty. You got £10 off this today as well.
I know.
Yeah.
Considering that is a customer favourite, one that is regularly up there as one of the highest sales, that's incredible.
Right, just want to tell you, it's a bare root, so we also with most bare roots give them a bit of a soak before you plant them.
Yeah, soak them. A few hours.
Yeah, planting depth. I'm going to say
probably about 4 inches.
Yeah, I'm just going to check what it says on the packet, but I always put them about 4. Yeah, there you go. 4 to 6
inches. Yeah, plant them, water them in, and then leave them alone, basically. Regular water, obviously regular feeding throughout the growing season, throughout its active growth, spring and summer, and just wait for it. You will get beautiful foliage, gorgeous flowers, and it will just keep increasing over the years and giving you...
Now, I always take the dead flowers off, but I do let the foliage stay all summer.
Yes,
and then let it die down naturally.
Yeah, because then it refeeds, so it gives you better displays next
They
year.
are, honestly, they are absolutely spectacular. They're breathtaking, and they've got £10 off today. 580006. Now we had at the end of last year, we had it was a buy
one get one, wasn't it? And it was an amazing deal. One of our most popular items that we've had.
But hang on,
we've gone bigger.
So
we've gone
this
bigger.
You can get 3 for £8.99.
No. Yes. 3 for £8.99.
Yeah, with the code.
You have to use the code.
Yeah, you do.
YGTV0424, and you will get 3 of these lavender hidcote, the English lavender varieties, ready to plant out. The displays you'll get from this year will be amazing.
Yeah.
You will get gorgeous lavender from this, and it will be so well fragranced. It will be incredible. Bees absolutely adore it, and it's one of the easiest things for you to grow in your garden.
It is. Well,
and any garden, I think, in the UK.
We've got quite different gardens, Bex and I. I've got lavender in a formal garden at the front.
Yeah.
This is yours, it. That was it in the summer. And honestly, that lavender is only about 3 years old.
Yeah.
And they were really small plants that I planted.
They would have been this size, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
But that's a big border, and now it's just covered.
Well, this is the beautiful thing, because they do just sort of meander in, well, not meander, but they grow together, so it just looks like one long lavender plant. It's incredible the way that they grow, and they form these wonderful mounds of flowers that you get on there.
Do you know what I sometimes forget? Lavender looks great in the winter.
Yeah.
Mine looks really nice right now. Now, you've got yours a bit more natural, haven't you?
Well, so it's in a whole line down the side of my driveway. So this is my lavender, and I was filming this to show you how many bees were there. You can see how many bees were buzzing around there, having an absolute whale of a time. Mine's probably about 7 or 8 years old now, and every year it looks incredible. The reason it looks incredible is that at the end of the season, I trim the flowers back down. I trim it back down to where the new growth has started to come through, and that means that I get the beautiful mound shape happening from it. If you don't do that, it'll get long, it'll get leggy, you'll have massive gaps in it.
Yeah, and a bit woody as well.
Yeah, and a bit woody. It doesn't look nice. So just trim it back. All I do is take a pair of shears and chop the flower heads off. It's my favourite job to do, actually, because obviously you get that lovely lavender smell. But what I do love about lavender is just so many things. Really easy to grow, drought tolerant. I rarely water that. I just don't bother because it can cope with it. It doesn't need loads and loads of water. It's hardy. It can deal with the harsh winters. The bees absolutely love it, and what it gives you is flower power. Flower, flower, flower all the way through the summer months, and it has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so we know it's a proven performer.
I love them, and so they are easy to grow. I'd say sunny the better.
Yeah.
Well drained as well. They don't like to be waterlogged, do they?
No.
Although you've got clay soil.
I've got clay soil, and do you know what? They're fine.
Yeah.
But if you want to put them in the ground, you can put them in the ground. If you want to put them in a pot, you can put them in a pot. They really aren't fussy. And if you've got some gaps in your borders, put a lavender in it.
Well, you get 3 today for £8.99. It is a triple deal, and that is 510319. But if you are brand new to the show, just want to tell you how you can save extra money. So at the moment, We've popped in 3 lavenders, and that's coming up at $11.97. That doesn't. You might be thinking that doesn't look right. We've put 2 calla lilies in, and that's coming up at $19.98, and 2 lots of dahlia, but that's also coming up at $19.98. So at the moment, you're not getting any of the promotions. The saving is only £12. So if you put in the code YGTV 0424, apply the code, suddenly you get all of these extras. So you get your spring flowering bulbs free, and that's sort of spring summer flowering, because they're into June time. They're worth £20. The lavender's gone down in price. The calla lilies have also gone down in price, and the daily dinner plates. Now, look at those, $14.98 for 2 lots. And actually, we've even saved a little bit on our delivery, because that was $6.99. It's now gone down to $4.99. So the bottom line is using our code saves you a fortune. Now, the sad thing about our little basket right now, not sad, I mean, it's a lovely basket, but it's just under £40, so we're still paying a little bit of postage. If we had one other item, and that could be anything, what should we choose, Bex?
Leucothoe.
Yeah, Leucothoe, because that's $6.99, isn't it? No, $8.99. So this is coming up a little bit later on, but anything from the show or the website.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we haven't shown you barely any of the items we've got today, but that's just one of the favourites, I know. £8.99, we'll add that into our basket, and let's see what that does to it. Let's have a little look. View baskets.
That's better. There you go.
Look at that. And look at the saving. We are saving now more than we are spending, and we can save some more money if we want to. The cost of your club membership is £5, and by joining the club, we are saving £6 and 10p. So on that first order, we've already paid for our club membership and saved an extra £1 and 10p. But remember, that club membership lasts you for a full 12 months. So from the point you join, every order you place for the next 12 months, you're going to save 10%. Your savings will add up rapidly.
But we're going to now move on to something really, really...
It's one of my favourites, well, this.
It's beautiful, but it's really unusual.
Yeah.
It's Mimosa. We very rarely see this, actually, in the UK. Mm. It's $24.99, postage included. And do you know what? In a couple of months' time, this is going to be just magnificent, because it's going to get covered. And they're like little yellow pom-poms, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, you've got the lovely fern-like foliage on here. It's kind of filigree. And it's beautiful.
And it is evergreen, we should say.
So gorgeously soft. I mean, if you just take a look at one of the leaves, you can see it's not solid. It's real, like, ferny, filigree leaves that we're talking about here. I think it's super, super interesting just as a foliage plant. But then what happens around sort of April and into May time is that these beautiful yellow pom-poms appear, and you can see them at the top of the plant. They're ready to burst into bloom for us.
And you get hundreds of these.
Oh my word, you get so many of these. There they are, look, ready to start blooming. Obviously, as this matures and develops, it's going to cover the actual tree in these. And they're fuzzy, pom-pom, yellow, beautiful flowers that you get on here. And if you think that these are, and they're pollen-rich, by the way, they are absolutely amazing at inviting the beneficial pollinators into our gardens, and that's happening at the perfect time, because if you think about what else is happening at that time, you've got all your your apple trees and your pear trees and your cherry trees and things like that are coming into blossom that want the pollinators there. So it's a fantastic just marriage made in heaven to really invite those pollinators into your garden. It's a Mediterranean plant that grows incredibly well here in the UK, though I will suggest it needs a little bit of protection, certainly in its early days.
So we say hard, it's about between -3 and -5, don't we?
Yeah. So as a new plant, I mean, it's relatively established, but it's not fully established. So I definitely think this is going to want just a little bit of protection. Keep an eye on it over the coming months just to make sure. I wouldn't suggest maybe planting it straight out just now.
No, so I'd keep it in a pot. I would probably repot it.
Probably repot it. I might even keep it in my conservatory.
Yeah. Because, did you mention the fragrance?
No, not yet.
No, sorry, have I stolen your thunder?
No, go for it.
Because inside, the fragrance is absolutely magnificent, and it would fill a conservatory room.
It would absolutely do that.
It's that incredible fragrance.
So you're getting a double whammy there. You're protecting it just while these frosts are here, but you will also get that glorious fragrance. And then once we're definitely sure that those frosts have passed, you can plant this out. Obviously, it'll then have the full year to get established, and then it will be even more established once we get the frosty bits next year. And then, because it's hardy down to about -3, -5, it's going to require a minimal amount of protection, maybe a little bit of mulch and maybe a little fleece around the base.
Well, I've got some friends in my village. They've got a mimosa tree.
Yes.
And it must have been there decades.
Yeah.
And
is it big?
Yeah. I mean, oh my word. I mean, it was just like. I remember last year seeing it, and it's just a cloud of yellow in the sky.
Cloud of yellow. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you can keep this in a pot all of its life. It would be happy.
Yeah, and it would be. You will restrict the size that it will grow to, and sometimes that is a beneficial thing to do because we don't all have masses of space. We certainly don't have room for, I don't have room for a massive, great big tree in my garden. So if I was to plant this, I would probably keep it in a pot and eventually into a decent sized pot. But even that would create a beautiful cloud of yellow every year.
And if you are planting it in the ground, so we'd wait probably just wait until we get in summer, but it would like a south-facing, really sunny but sheltered spot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think if you go, a lovely sheltered spot, a south wall, something like that, that's just going to give it that extra layer of protection that it might need, come the winter time. But it is a beauty and one that I absolutely adore.
Yeah, you'll love it. You really will. Flying mimosa. Or Acacia del Barta.
Acacia del Barta.
Yeah, that's a posh name.
Woohoo! It's a mimosa.
Yeah, I know all the everyday names, don't I? But Peter McDermott, head gardener, I remember watching a little video online when we were talking about mimosa.
Yeah.
It's still there probably, actually.
It is, I saw it the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
But honestly, it's an absolutely amazing plant. You can grow it in the UK, hardy down to about -5, and it's an early flower. I know you said April, but I've sometimes had these flower at the end of March.
End of March,
but again, it depends where you live and what.
It very much depends
like.
on the location, where it's planted. But we are talking about a sort of spring into early summer, so it's a wonderful transition one. But it's just a fantastic one for you to bring into your garden.
This is coming up, by the way. This is coming up.
Next.
Yes, a little teaser of our Cordyline, which is coming up in a few months' time. But if you'd like the Acacia del Barta, the flying mimosa tree, it's $24.99 with postage included as well. Cindy's going to give a preview.
Do you want to see the talk about it now, haven't we? The Southern Splendour.
Yeah.
It's one of our favourites, isn't it, this one, of the Cordylines?
I mean, it's just stunning.
I just love Cordylines. Structure, height that you get from them, the beautiful colour. And on this one, because you've got that lovely variegation to the leaves here, so really sort of bright stripes on the outside and then the darker stripes towards the centre. I think this is a gorgeous one, particularly when you think about how this is going to look once the sunlight is shining on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. Winter hardy down to -3, -5 with your Cordylines. They can normally withstand most things. All we need to do occasionally is give them a little extra help by tying them up like this. But other than that, there's very little that you need to do with your Cordyline. It's what your Cordyline can do for you, more importantly. Wonderful mixed into borders amongst more softer looking foliage because it provides that contrast and that structure. But what I like about Cordylines is how they grow into almost tree shapes, because as they grow taller, these leaves come away, forming like a trunk at the base, so you get this lovely tree with this just spray of leaves coming out of the top.
I have to say, about all the Cordylines that I've seen at YouGarden, this is one of the most splendid.
It is. I really think it is.
Amazing, aren't they? Incredible.
Yeah.
But they're very happy in pots as well. Talking of which.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
These have been really popular. We only launched these last week, actually, the April planters. You get a pair of them for under £25. But you see that, look at that.
Absolutely. That is stunning, isn't it? I do like, actually, I've seen a lot of these. I think it's a bit of a design thing at the moment, quite on trend this, where you've got the square pot, but you've got that tapered shape. And I've seen this a lot outside the front of fancy houses with the Cordylines out the top. It does look really beautiful. And that light colour against those beautiful reds and pinks works really well.
So the Cordyline is postage included, $6.82.52, $24.99. But the brand new planters that you've loved, You get 2 of them for $24.98, and again, postage is included.
That's brilliant. And they were brand new to us last week, weren't they? So these are part of the new range of planters that we're bringing.
So they're really high. I can imagine those in stores like John Lewis or Habitat, which I know online now. But you know those sort of really...
absolutely.
You could see them there, couldn't
design,
you?
home design type places. Yeah.
They're just really high end. And just, I think, would really work with any type of garden, whether it's contemporary or country or anything in between. Yeah. But that was amazing.
It's a good display, isn't it? Should we have a look at the other one? Because we've got another April pot as well, haven't we?
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not convinced it's going to look as good. I like the green, but I'm just not sure the pink and green's going to go.
Yeah.
That doesn't do it for me.
I like it. Do you know what? It's nice, but what I think nice. That's not a good word. That's
not doing it for me.
Nice. No, I think it needs the contrast. I think the colour of the cordyline.
To me, in my head, right? Would you wear pink and green together, Bex?
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. I'm brave. No, I'm not. Would I wear pink and green together? Probably not.
No.
No, I think I love that.
We're not garden designers. You can have what you want.
I love that, and actually, if I was going for, I don't know, maybe the Leucothoe or something like that, that would look great.
I was thinking a bit of Mimosa.
Yeah, it could do. The yellow and the green would look
See, when
beautiful.
the yellow comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about getting the right plant for the right pot, or the right pot for the right plant, isn't it?
But do you know what? It annoys me when people try and set rules with gardening, because we're all different. Your garden has to just be what you like.
Yeah, just take your pick.
Yeah.
Go for both.
I love both. I do.
If you can afford to, go for both. Why not?
But if you like the green ones, £135.75. On offer at £24.98. Right, good morning, by the way. Welcome to YouGarden TV.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your company this morning. We're very excited, aren't we? Because the days are getting longer. It's getting lighter. We're going that way.
9 weeks. 9 weeks this Sunday, and the clocks will have changed.
Yeah!
Yes.
We're going to count down every week from now on, aren't we?
I'm counting down every hour.
I've got every hour.
Oh, dear.
Skyscrapers first.
Oh, we're going this side first.
Yeah, we're going to start with our beautiful skyscrapers.
I just like to be close to the viewers over there, but you're there, aren't you now? Right. Should we go big then? We're going big.
Let's go tall.
Yes.
Skyscrapers. We are going to talk about one of the favourites from last week, one of the favourites from every single year, in actual fact.
Yeah, so true.
Because what you get with this collection is 5 different bags of your skyscraper lilies. So 5 varieties, 5 of each, and what each one of these is going to create is a beautiful lily tree. A lily tree that, once established, is going to reach 6 feet in height. That's taller than Shaun.
Never.
First year, probably not 6 feet. First year, probably about 4 feet in height. But as it matures, as it establishes, because this will come back for you every single year, you can get a lily tree that's up to 6 feet in height. But not only that, it can have 20 plus blooms on it.
Wow.
It's incredible. And it shouldn't really require support or staking, because these have been bred to have really strong, sturdy stems on them. We would recommend maybe putting it into a sheltered spot. If you put it in the windiest area, then yes, you're going to need some support. Plus, you'll lose the flowers very quickly. So definitely go for a sunny spot, sheltered spot, but 6 feet in height, 20 plus blooms. A lily tree will be absolutely incredible. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Look at how many flowers you can see on there. That is one stem.
Now these are working out, because they're on offer today. They're normally £40. They're £13.95. So it's working out about 57 pence per lily. And every one of these should flower this year. As Bex was saying, about 4 foot in height. You might get even taller, but we say about 4 foot first year, and several flowers on each stem. And then year 2, year 3, they're going to get taller, bigger, with 20 flowers plus. And they're fragrant, of course, as well.
Gorgeously fragrant. I mean, heady fragrance when it comes to lily flowers, in actual fact, which I adore. I think it's absolutely beautiful to have that fragrance floating on the summer breeze, because somewhere between June and August is when you will get these flowers. Obviously, they only flower once. You don't have, you know, multiple, not like your dahlias that'll keep coming if you cut them. You only get one from these. But because you've got 5 different varieties, they're probably not all going to come into bloom all at exactly the same time. So between sort of June, July, August, that's when each of those are going to start blooming for you.
And this is Stu's lily. He's had it there several years. They are winter hardy, of course, but a lot of flowers and a lot of height.
Yeah, a lot of height. So if you're going to plant these out into your borders, definitely go towards the back of the border.
Yeah.
You're thinking between 4 and 6 feet in height. You don't want them
you don't want them
at
the front because everything behind them you will not see.
But definitely pick a full sun position if you can. They can cope with a little bit of shade, actually. It's not that they won't, but it's just if you want as many flowers, you do want as much sun on them as you possibly can. They are winter hardy. They are wildlife friendly. They will come back for you year after year. How long did you say you've had yours for, Stu? 9 years? 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
So they're going to give you and for 57 pence each.
I know.
If you can think, even if you've got 4 years out of them, that is that's a lot of lily for your lolly.
Yeah. What else could you buy in your garden that's going to be so big and wonderful that's cost 57p?
Exactly.
They are really impressive, those, aren't they?
So impressive. When it comes to lily displays, it's one of the most impressive.
Well, do let us know what you're buying today, what you're ordering. We would love to hear from you on the live chat on YouTube, Facebook, and we have got a new email, of course, which is ygtv@yougarden.com. Got some pictures coming on that, so thank you. That is our new email. But last week, everyone went crazy for our Starfish iris, and we brought it back. We're going to keep this running for a few weeks, because the response has been incredible on this one, hasn't it?
Absolutely incredible, and we knew it would be, because this was a firm favourite from last year when we brought it to a show on our previous shopping channel. One show, all sold out, never even got my hands on them myself because they were that popular. They're weird, they're wonderful, they're unique, they're incredible. I just think the markings on there are outstanding. They've been named perfectly because it does look like it lives underwater. It definitely looks like a starfish. But June, July time is when you will get these beautiful, beautiful flowers. They don't grow outwards, so you'll get about 40 centimetres height on them, but they're nice and slender. So you're definitely going to want to plant these together. This is also why we've done a double up deal here, because I think it would be perfect if you had 6 of these planted in a group together. They do want protection from frost. This is not one that you're going to leave out in the winter. It's not winter hardy, but great to get your hands on them now. Great to get them started under cover somewhere, and then get that gorgeous display June, July time. I would recommend putting it into a pot, as I do with most of these things that need winter protection, because I just think it's then super easy to move the pot rather than having to dig the corm up and, you know, dry it out and store it. Just move the pot. It's much easier.
And the corms, we don't get too technical, but corms are very similar to bulbs.
It gets really complicated when you start looking at corms and tubers and
rhizomes
bulbs and rhizomes and stuff. Essentially, they all hold the nutrients and what's needed to create a flowering plant.
So they all store, don't they?
They all store, which is the important thing. And you treat them the same as you would a bulb.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the only thing I think with corms compared to bulbs are layers, aren't they? And corms have got like a hard centre normally. Yeah. But
essentially, it stores what's needed to create the plant.
In essence, you'd plant this like a bulb.
And you create it. You treat it exactly the same.
Yeah, that's it. But as Bex said, it's something that does need to be protected from the frost. I'm going to be planting mine in pots.
Yep, me too.
And I just cannot wait to show them off.
Absolutely, and an important point about these is that they naturalise and multiply quite quickly, in actual fact. So you can get more, which means that then you can divide, which I would do next springtime. So once you start seeing the growth coming through, if you see that you've got, if you see that they've multiplied, that's when I would probably divide at that point.
So more starfish iris.
More starfish iris. In your tropical area, in your garden. What do you call
a group of starfish?
I don't know. Is there a joke, or are you actually asking?
Well, no, because I'm thinking you can get more starfish.
A celebrity of starfish?
I don't know.
I like that.
I need to look into that. But you're going to get more starfish lilies as the years progress. But I love those, seriously. Been really popular. So if you missed out on them last week, if you're a brand new viewer, definitely recommend those in your basket. If you like something new and unusual, 63145. Now, one of the most beautiful flowers as a picked flower is going to be freesias.
Yeah, because of the fragrance and the mixture of colours.
And they're really quite, in terms of how long they flower, they're really quite good, because you can be talking 3 weeks, can't you? But the downside of freesias as a cut flower, so expensive.
Really expensive.
So expensive.
Yeah, well.
And you get a piddly amount. You get like
five
stems that look nothing for £7. So it does make sense to grow your own. We've actually got an amazing deal on these. 50 singles, 50 doubles. So it's 100, or if you want to double up for an extra £5, you can get 100 singles and 100 of those magnificent doubles. So enough here to actually enjoy them in the garden, but also as a cut flower.
Totally, yeah, because you're getting so many of these, and they are just one of our summer flowering favourites, aren't they? Because they are sweetly scented, because you've got that beautiful mix of colour, and because you've got that mix of single and double flowers included in there as well. They originate from South Africa, so this is why we want to start these off indoors, of course. You know, they're not something we're going to want to plant out right now, but you can plant them now under cover, and then you can take them outside after the frost has passed. Wonderful funnel-shaped flowers that you get on here. Very sort of, I mean, they are kind of exotic looking, aren't they, the blooms that you get on here? But the important thing to tell you about these freesias, these particular bulbs, is that these have been heat treated. And that means you will get flowers in the first year. If you don't heat treat them, it can be really difficult for you to get flowers. And also, if they've been heat treated but they've been sat for ages, the heat treatment sort of wears off.
Yeah, that magic disappears, doesn't it?
The magic disappears, I like that.
Yes.
But yes, if you get hold of these and plant them under cover now, then we can guarantee you are going to get flowers this year.
And for anyone that's had like trouble with growing freesias, probably they've not been heat treated.
Probably that is the case.
But YouGarden, we always, the freesias we bring in general, always have gone through that process. I think it makes them think that they're back in South Africa.
Yeah.
It's like they've warmed up and they're just ready to go.
They're ready, absolutely. They are just raring to burst into bloom for you.
So we'd love you to try those. Again,
me?
you do need to keep them frost-free, so start them off inside. I mean, my greenhouse, although it's not heated, is quite well insulated, so I'm going to start mine off in my greenhouse. If I know it's going to be really frosty, I'll just give them some protection.
Yeah, that's it. It's easy to do, isn't it? I used to avoid
you've
stuff
got
like that.
You've got a conservatory.
Got a conservatory, which I'm basically going to turn into my greenhouse this year. I mean, I did last year, actually. I grew my tomatoes and stuff in there last year, so I definitely used it as that last year.
We're all into that. You can even buy the little pop-up greenhouses. My mum's going to get one of those this year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're quite handy,
I'm giving it to her because I've got a full greenhouse now, but you know, that might be enough, depending on where you live, where it is, just to give them that extra protection, but they need to be frost-free. Yeah. But they're going to give you the most amazing displays, and that heat treatment that they've all been gone through makes a big difference, and that
makes all the difference.
It should make sure that every one of those freesias does flower in its first year without having to wait. Gorgeous, I love the doubles out as well. Now, also really popular, our Hosta collection. The value here is buy 5, get 5 absolutely free. So that's been a top seller over the past week here on YouGarden TV. And I'm not surprised because it's £1 per hosta. And hostas, although they flower, Bex will talk about that in a moment's time, it's the foliage that we adore, isn't it?
That's exactly it. I mean, this is why we buy hostas. They are a foliage plant.
Yeah.
The cherry on the cake, you know, the cherry on top is the flowers that you get from these, but it is very much about the foliage, the colour, the size, the shapes. And this collection has been carefully put together, you know, wonderful sort of selection, so that you get a nice range of those colours, sizes and shapes as well. And yes, you will get these beautiful flowers that come out. Lovely tall spikes of flowers with clusters of sort of bell-shaped, tubular-looking purple flowers on the end that do actually last for a really long time. But what I do adore most about hostas is how much of a problem solver they are.
Yeah.
You know, they will sit perfectly happily in a full sun position. But actually, the majority of us will go for a hosta because it lives happily in shade. And those shady spots are really tricky for us in order to, you know, to put plants in. Because not a lot of plants will live happily in those shady spots, but your hosta will thoroughly enjoy living in a shady spot, which is really, really valuable to us. Love, love, love them. And you are getting a mixture of sizes in here, so they can grow, you know, I say a metre by a metre. I think the metre would include the flower spikes on there at all. But what you will get is a beautiful mound of leaves, and they will spread outwards as well. So if you want to use them as a shade loving plant, but also a place for gap filling, this is a great one. And you will get really good displays this year. We're not going to guarantee they're all going to flower, but in terms of foliage, you'll get some really nice displays this year. Absolutely, you will, yeah. I mean, I grew hostas last year, but I grew them as, they were small potted plants. I didn't grow them from bare root. And I had amazing displays in that first year, and I did get flowers in the first year. But because you are getting bare roots here, and they do take just that little bit more time to establish, you will get beautiful foliage. They're relatively fast growing, so you will get that gorgeous foliage, and you might get some flowers. Yes, and you can plant them right now. They're fully winter hardy. Yeah. So give them a bit of a soak when you get them home, but you can actually plant them right now. Absolutely, get them out. Yeah, the sooner the better, I think. Make sure you get some strulch though, please. Yes. Add some strulch into your basket if you're going to buy your hostas. A few years ago, I planted hostas not knowing about strulch, so I thought I'd give it a go. And it was an all-you-can-eat buffet for the slugs and the snails in my garden. Within 2 days, they'd been completely destroyed, nothing left. So what I used last year in the pots that I grew my hostas in was strulch, and it was amazing because it keeps the slugs and the snails away. It stops them from having an all-you-can-eat buffet on that beautiful, luscious foliage of your hostas. And mine lasted all season with no munching on. It was absolutely brilliant. But strulch has a variety of uses, not just a way of keeping your slugs and snails away without poisons, without pellets, a really nice way of keeping them away, but also it looks really pretty in your garden. It does look really pretty, but it's brilliant for suppressing the weeds. So if you've got areas that are full of weeds, do weed them first, but put your strulch on top, and it really helps stops those weeds coming back. Also, great for improving soil structures. If you've got maybe heavy clay soil, you can actually dig the strulch in, and that really helps break up the texture and gives your soil a far better structure. So great soil improver. In the wintertime, it can act as a mulch, so it gives your plants, your tender plants, that extra warmth, basically. So it can make the difference. Yeah, a few degrees can make a difference between whether a plant survives or doesn't. And also in the summertime, if it's a particularly dry summer, that is brilliant at retaining moisture as well. So have you ever used strulch around raspberries and things like that? No, I haven't around raspberries. To be honest, at the moment, I've only used it around hostas. But there's loads of things out there that you know, the slugs and snails like to munch on. So, I mean, I did plant delphiniums last year. They love the new growth from a delphinium. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, there's so many. If you've got plants in your garden that the slugs and snails like to eat, put some strulch around it. And postage is included today, so you're going to get 2 9-kilogram bags rather. 9-kilometre bag? Could you imagine the size of that? No, 9-kilogram bag, which means you're getting 18 kilograms in total. We very rarely bring that deal, to be honest with you. We have had it for the last couple of weeks. I don't know how much longer we're going to be keeping it on offer like this. So it's well worth stocking up on this while we have it on this offer. Each bag covers, is it 3 metres squared? 3 square metres, yeah, I was right. So it does cover a really decent area here, and it stays active for up to 2 years. So once it sort of, runs out of its special capabilities, all you do is then, as Shaun was saying, dig it through your soil, and it helps to improve and aerate the texture of your soil. So I love a product that has multiple uses, and your strulch is definitely a multiple use product. But definitely, if you're going for those hostas, bring the strulch into your basket as well. Do remember to enter the code YGTV0424 so that you can get your savings, but also so that you can get your free gift, which is your 150 bag of the spring into summer flowering bulbs. Really good collection that you're getting there. All right, let's move on to our Leucothoe, our burning love. Unfortunately, we are not going to be able to hold this price for too much longer. It is the lowest price that we have brought the Leucothoe to you at. It is only £8.99. And I just think that this is one of the best plants that you can put into your garden, along with your Nandinas, your Firepower, or Obsessed is the other one, yes. The reason I say that is that I think they behave in a similar way, just a few differences for our regulars that know about Nandina. This one is the new growth that has the beautiful colours on it. The new growth comes through that lovely, bright, pinky red colour, and then it fades to these burgundies and olive greens, and then the lime greens underneath. With your Nandina, it has a lovely colour changing effect that happens with the changing temperatures. So that's the difference. But I just think that they work really well together. They play well together. This stays really nice and compact, only reaching about 75 by 75 centimetres. So I think this would work beautifully in a pot, actually. But if you want to mix it into your borders, you can do that as well. It's also very, very winter hardy. Again, very much like your Nandinas, down to about -20. This is not one that needs any additional kind of protection or anything included. Very little that you need to do to it as well. You might want to prune occasionally, but it's going to take very little pruning because it's relatively slow growing. And the only final thing to tell you about it is that it does want an ericaceous compost. It doesn't prefer it, it wants it. So please, if you haven't got any ericaceous compost, just take a little look on our website, type in Eric into the search bar and you will find it. Shaun, how do you spell ericaceous? Do you remember? You learnt it last week.
E-R-I-C-A-C-E-E-O-U-S.
You added an E in, but nearly.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Ericaceous.
Yes, I did. I put an extra E in.
You nailed it last week.
Ericaceous. Oh, yes.
Just type Eric, it'll come up, I promise you.
I could never spell ericaceous for some reason.
We were learning it last week.
Yeah, I've almost got it.
Didn't learn it, did you?
Ericaceous.
There you go.
I will never forget that again. So
yeah, this one's been incredibly popular. That's why it's over here on our sort of favourites table, as we call it. But we will not be able to hold that price for too much longer. So please, 511058 if you want to add the Leucothoe into your basket.
Sure. Well, let's remind you of some of the great plants. We've had a really good show, actually.
So good. Yeah. Still loads more to show you.
Yes.
Another hour.
But let's remind you of some of the fabulous plants that we've had so far today on YouGarden TV. And we started off with those dinner plate dahlias. Now these will grow to produce flowers that are up to 8 inches in terms of diameter. They really are magnificent. They'll flower June onwards, so they will flower all summer long. You do need to keep them free from frost. That's a general rule with dahlias. I mean, some people do leave them in the ground and hope for the best, and in some parts of the country they're fine, but we do recommend keeping them frost-free. But they will flower until the first frost. But this is a ginormous variety where the flowers can be up to 8 inches in terms of diameter. You get 5 tubers for £9.99, 10 tubers for £14.98. Now Bex, we've had a question come in from Philip. Yeah. Good question actually. He's asking how big will they grow in the first year?
Well, so he's asking if they're going to grow to that sort of dinner plate size in the first year, and I'm going to suggest that yes, they probably should. You won't get as many in the first year as you will in subsequent years, but the flowers you get should reach that lovely big size.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the flowers will be big on the first year.
Absolutely. Obviously, you need to look after them. You need to in order to get the best displays, they need a sunny spot. You need to feed. You need to pinch them out when they're growing. You know, there's a few little tricks that you can do to ensure success with these. But yeah, the flowers you get should get to that lovely big size.
And you are going to get, remember, if you double up today, 10 tubers for £14.98, 633.19. And then the other brand new dahlia that we've got on the show is the, I keep calling it raspberry, it's actually blackberry. So it's a little bit more purple, this one. We do a rose called raspberry ripple, which is more red, but this is more purple. It is called the Dahlia Blackberry. But it's gorgeous, isn't it? Really stunning, really quite unusual. Again, it's going to come to you as 3 tubers, or 6 if you double up. They produce the most big, wonderful flowers. and we're only talking about $14.98 for 6 tubers, so about $2.50 each. Again, they're like a sunny spot, so ideal in sunshine. They do like to be well fed, and they will come back year after year if you keep them frost-free. 631314 is your item number. Now, I love my canna lilies. Got this variety. I think canna lilies have such an extraordinary shape and an elegance to them. They're actually relatively easy to grow. Again, you just need to keep them frost-free in the winter. They love a sunny spot. I tend to, I mean, I've had mine years, but I tend to start feeding them as the new growth comes through. So you get the leaves coming through first, then you get the flowers, kind of late summer in general. And then once the flowers go over, then I chop the dead flowers off. I enjoy the foliage for the rest of the summer. And then as it heads into autumn, the foliage dies down and it does it all again the following year. They are amazing in terms of colour, these, aren't they? So almost a jet black, and you are going to get 3 bulbs for £9.99, or you can double up and get 6 for £14.98. 63223 is the item number. Then we have got a triple deal with our English lavender hidcob. So 1 for £3.99, but if you do a triple order, you will get a price reduction, and you get all 3 of these for £8.99. So the lavender, first of all, the bees, the butterflies, the pollinators absolutely adore lavender. This will be a buzzing hive of activity in the summer months. The fragrance is divine. Lavender is often used in formal gardens, but equally it is fantastic in like an English country garden, just meandering either side of the pathway, as we saw there, was actually often planted down pathways in Victorian times. So as the Victorian ladies walked down the pathways, their dresses would touch the lavender and it would just create the most amazing fragrance. They are fully evergreen, so they will look great in the winter, but in summertime, they produce the most magnificent purple flowers. And you get all 3 of those for £8.99. Don't forget to get all of the promotions. You do need to use our special code today, which is YGTV0424. Not only will that give you all the different promotions today, but you will get 150 of your spring flowering bulbs today as well. 510319 for the lavender hidcot. Love this one. This is our Bowl of Beauty. Really unusual peony. You get this big kind of yellow centre surrounded by the pink petals. Supplied as a bare root, ready to plant right now, fully winter hardy. All 3 of those for £9.99 with a £10 saving today. 580006 is the item number for that one here on YouGarden TV. Now we quickly saw the freesias. Quick reminder of those also. These have all been heat treated. And it's a special process that we use here at YouGarden. And it basically gives the freesia a very, very high chance of flowering in its first year. Quite often with freesias, you've got to wait a while for them to flower, but because these have been put through that heat treatment, they are raring to go. They grow about 25 centimetres, 30 centimetres in terms of height. They like a nice, sunny, well-drained spot. You've got to keep them frost-free, so when you get them, plant them in pots, keep them indoors or in a greenhouse, conservatory, and as soon as the frosts are clear and you know there's not going to be any more, then start to put them outside and enjoy them this summer and for many summers to come. Great little cut flower those as well. 63228 at £9.99. Then we also brought you the Mimosa. Oh my word, this one is amazing, really is. So we don't see it that often in the UK, but you really can grow it in the UK. You will see it in, France, Spain. I remember seeing some amazing ones in New Zealand, actually. Hardy to about -5 on this one. By the way, that's coming up a little bit later as well. Rose Rhapsody is coming up a little bit later on. But we have got our fabulous Mimosa for $24.99. And you'll get beautiful yellow pom-pom flowers. You get the fragrance. it's something that can grow into a tree if you let it. You really can, but it's very happy in a pot as well. And that is only $24.99, postage included today. 510-235 for the flying mimosa tree. And then we also brought you, this fabulous cordyline called Southern Splendor. It's only $24.99 with postage included today as well. But cordylines often they always give you great structure, but the colour of this is absolutely amazing. So to get these pinks in your garden, they just look spectacular. Again, we always class cordylines as fully winter hardy, but if it's going to be particularly cold, or if you know there's going to be a prolonged period of snow, frost, just tie them up. It gives the crown a little bit of extra protection, and then they'll be able to get right through the winter and look glorious for many years, if not decades to come. 680-252 at £24.99. Then also we brought you a brilliant deal on our hostas. Now these are going to be supplied as bare roots. You can plant these straight away. So they're fully winter hardy. Give them a little soak, and we always suggest you do that with all bare roots. Plant them now, and then this spring and summer, you'll start to get the most magnificent foliage. And there's a real mixture of shaped leaves and different colours in this selection. You will get flowers. You might get some flowers in the first year, but more likely those will be year 2 onwards. But I can honestly say hostas are one of the best plants for shady area. So any awkward shady area, get your hostas in there and they will add so much in terms of texture and colour. 580-049. And then finally, we also brought you, just saw this, the incredible Leucothoe Burning Love. So this is all about the foliage. Although it's winter, the middle of winter right now, it's got brilliant foliage, green, and that powerful red. It looks like this all year round, actually. So a really good plant to give you all-round interest. You do get the flowers in the summer. It is compact, it's only about 70 by 70 centimetres, but it is acid-loving, so it will need an ericaceous compost. Do bear that in mind. We have got our website, spelled ERICACEOUS. There you go, I got it in the end. But for everything else on the show, you're going to need our premium professional compost. I thought I'd find you over here, Bex.
Always.
Yes.
I love getting my hands in the premium professional compost. It's one of my favourites.
Well, if you are new to the show, we're going to talk about this in a second, but a few reminders. We have got a special offer code on the TV show, which is YGTV0424. That changes every week, but that is the code today, and it unlocks all of the promotions. But also, we have got a free gift today, haven't we?
We have indeed, yeah. It's our 150 bulb collection. I think we're calling it a spring flowering bulb collection, but it's actually
spring summer, isn't it, really?
Spring and into summer, because you're getting 5 different varieties in here. You're getting, first of all, it'd be the Muscari. There's 25 of those. They're about April time, aren't they? We're getting the
tulips are about April, wouldn't they?
Tulips, and they're the tall tulips as well, the sky high ones. They're like 90 centimetres in height. Those can reach, so those are great. The anemones, we've got 40 of those. They're probably about April, May time as well. We've got the ixia in there, 40 of those. And then we're going into, summer with these flowers. And we've got the allium spherocephalon.
Yes.
I learnt that name. Those are the drumstick alliums, though. So those are going to be in the summertime. Not too late to get these plants at all.
Because these are kind of late spring, aren't they?
Yeah, late spring into summer. So you can plant these and still get beautiful displays. Those are spherocephalon, so those are going to come out in the summertime for you. And there's obviously all of the others included in there as well. And remember that these do come back for you year after year, every single one of these. The Muscari, for example, your grape hyacinths, the displays they create, and they multiply really quickly. So please don't worry about planting any of these out. This is a fantastic free gift, worth nearly £20. So we've matched the value of our free gift from the last couple of weeks. So it's one of the highest value free gifts we have given. I mean, we were selling these not so long ago. Yeah. We were actually selling these. So it's a wonderful free gift to get.
And I know a lot of you regulars, you place separate orders to get more free gifts. We don't care.
No, we don't mind at all.
No.
Absolutely not. Definitely, that's one that would be great to get multiples of.
And it works out, if you buy something with free postage, it does work out sometimes doing that as a separate order to get the free gift. If everything you're buying has got postage added to it, sometimes it works out just doing one order because you get free delivery when you spend over £40. But
just play around with your baskets.
Yes.
Just have a little tinkle and a little play. Play around with your basket. Work out what's the best value for what you want and what you need in your garden.
Yeah. Now, we've got a brand new email. So if you want to send in any pictures, you can email us, which is ygtv@yougarden.com.
Yes, and our lovely Elena has been sending us pictures of our houseplants because we started our show today. Oh, she's created a lovely little terrarium.
Nice.
How cute is that? Is there a red zircon in
Yeah,
there? Yes,
it looks
there
like
is,
it,
isn't
yeah.
there? Oh, that looks beautiful. That looks like an asparagus sperengi at the back as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Could be. Oh, that looks really gorgeous.
She's got a polka dot plant in there.
Well done, Elena. That's gorgeous.
Like that.
Okay, so Ian has also sent us a picture. Oh, he's got the Areca palm in his bathroom.
See, doesn't that look really nice?
That's it. That looks gorgeous. Lovely white bathroom there. It loves a bit of moisture, so that looks absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending your pictures.
Yes.
Love getting pictures.
Those are the first two to come to on that brand new email.
Well done. That's going to be exciting.
But don't forget, you can still chat on the group chat on Facebook and, of course, on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and send those in anytime you like, by the way. That email address is open all week. So whether we are here and talking to you or not, you can always send emails to that email address.
Yes. But it's always great to hear from you. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
But here at YouGarden, and for those that are new to the show, so we're in a potting shed right now. We're in the middle of an 11-acre nursery in Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place to be. I mean, outside there's literally acres and acres of plants, and the standards are incredible. But the best-selling product here is always our premium professional compost. And I mean, we've honestly lost count of how many litres of this we've sold. Yeah, millions and millions and millions now.
Lots.
And we've got two of the 50-litre bags at $24.98. Postage is included as well. And if you are a club member, don't forget, every time you order your compost, you do get an extra 10% off as well. So it's really worth becoming a club member if you're just going to buy 2 lots of compost from us in the next 12 months.
Yeah, absolutely, because that pays for your club membership, and then any other order that you place, obviously you get that 10% discount on. So your savings really will start to add up over the year. We've saved a fortune already, haven't we?
We really have. But you might be thinking, why is it the best-selling compost? Yeah. What makes it so special? So we've got to talk you through the key ingredients. But before we do, it's important to say this is a compost used in the nursery.
Yeah.
So this year alone, we will pot up probably about 150,000 roses in this compost.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah.
Just this year.
And that's just roses.
Yeah.
That's one of the thousands of plants that we sell.
So we do ready-made hanging baskets. We'll be bringing those to you very soon, I'm sure. Those will all be made using this premium professional compost. It is a commercial grade product. This is the people in the know, the people who've spent their entire lives in horticulture. This is the compost that they choose to use for their business. And
any time we grow something on, repot, whatever, this is a compost that we use. And when you think we sell millions of plants every year, it's really important those plants are grown to their best.
Absolutely. Well, you often don't get let into the trade secrets, do you?
No.
This is the thing. It's very rare that trade actually allow you into their special secrets. But this is exactly what YouGarden have done. They have let you into a trade secret by allowing customers to be able to get their hands on this premium professional compost.
And you can actually see, just looking at the packaging, it is commercial packaging. It's plain. There's no marketing spiel. All the value goes into what is inside these fabulous 50-litre bags.
Totally.
Right, let's tell you about the compost, though. What makes it so good? Where do you want to start, Bex?
Okay, can we start with texture? Because it's really important, okay? Obviously, the texture is made up by the ingredients, so we'll go through that. But I just want to show you how lovely and light and airy this texture is. What that's important for is root growth and development, okay? So, roots. If the texture is nice and soft and airy, it means that roots can get in here, they can grow, they can spread, they can actually breathe as well. Oxygen is massively important to your root growth and development. If there's room for them to be able to do that, then what you get is a really nice strong root structure. A strong base means ultimately, in the simplest terms, bigger, better, healthier plants. So if I'm growing flowers, it means I'm going to get more flowers, maybe flowering for a longer season. If I'm growing fruit, I'm going to get bigger, better bumper crops of fruit. If I'm having to deal with massively changing weather conditions, let's face it, we live in the UK, we have to deal with that on a daily basis. It means that the plants are going to be able to more readily deal with that. Maybe there's pests and diseases. You know, plants, unfortunately, they suffer from various little pests and diseases that are around from time to time. But if they are suffering with that, which plant is going to deal better with it? The one with the nice, strong, healthy root structure, or the one that's a bit meh, bit sickly? Of course, it's going to be the one that's bigger, better, healthier, stronger root system. So that's where the sort of texture of this really does help. And obviously that texture is made up by the ingredients in here. So let's start with that composted wood fibre. You can see all these little fibres, well composted, all running through that entire mixture. Now that really helps with this gorgeous light texture. But what it also does is it helps with moisture retention throughout the winter. It helps with even water distribution, which is really important to the health and well-being of our plants. But that's just one of them.
Yeah, now you've also got 3 different types of peat in there, magnificent peats, white and dark peats. And some of those are renewable as well. There's a sphagnum moss peat in there, for example, which is renewable. So 3 different blends of peat. And what we try and do, and we have perfected this over the years, is to give you the minimum amount of peat, but with the maximum results. Because obviously we do realise there's environmental issues with peat, so we try and give you the best results using the minimum amount, but some of those peats are renewable as well. Now, Bex is on the search.
Yeah, I mean,
for slow-release fertiliser. You don't have to look too far, do you?
You don't have to search for too long. No, there is. There is slow-release fertiliser in here. These lovely little green balls that you can see that are well distributed throughout the entire compost. There's loads of it. You'll see as I'm running my hands through how many of them you'll see. Now, that slow-release fertiliser means our plants can get hold of the food, the nutrients that they need, as and when they need it. They're not waiting for you to give them a drink and for you to give them a feed. They can get hold of it when they need it. So that's really, really important. You're still going to feed with your water-based fertilisers, get your blooming fast, feed your plants with that, but that's really, really brilliant. We've also got lime in here. Now the lime helps to balance out the pH, and that's really important for this becoming an all-round compost.
And that's because most plants, not all, but the majority of plants like to be just on the slightly acidic side of neutral. Leucothoe doesn't. That likes to be in really acidic soil.
Yeah.
But most...
Majority.
So unless it's camellia, rhododendron, Leucothoe, they're going to love the pH of this, but that pH buffer is in there to make sure it is just on the side, the acidic side of neutral, which makes it perfect for the vast majority of plants out there.
Yeah, even houseplants.
Yeah,
you can
very
re-put
true.
your houseplants into this. That's what I've been doing recently. I've still got 1 or 2 to go, but I've been putting my houseplants in here, and they live a really happy, fantastic life in here. And what we do say is seeds through to trees, and everything in between you can plant in here because of the texture, because of the ingredients. What else have we got? A wetting agent.
Yes, and that is... Now, we only learned about this from our head gardener recently. We knew a wetting agent was in there.
But it was his explanation that really helped us to understand it.
So we always knew that, say if you ever make a hanging basket and you take your eye off it for even a day sometimes, and the compost dries out, and then you try and water it. You know when all the water goes all over the side? It's really annoying, isn't it? You're there with your watering can, and all the water's going straight over the side. It's so annoying. And we always knew that didn't happen with this compost. And we knew it had a wetting agent, but Peter, who's our head gardener, his explanation was really good. He said that the wetting agent in here, it just makes the water sticky. Yeah. So the water sticks to the compost rather than going over the side, it goes, ooh.
It's really clever, but then it doesn't overwater the plants.
No.
It just makes it water the plants effectively, which is just, it blew my mind the way he described that.
Because it just means that on a dry summer day, if you've got a dry hanging basket, a pot, you water it, and the water goes into the pot of the basket.
Exactly, instead of all over the floor.
Yeah, brilliant.
So this is what turns this into an all-round compost, something you can use for everything, and it is a trade secret that they have let out of the bag and that they have allowed for normal people like you and me to be able to get our hands on, and it will turn you into a better gardener overnight. I can promise you that. I've certainly experienced it, and across the years that we've been bringing this product to you, thousands of people have reviewed this. Several people in our group chat, they will often say to you, it's the only compost I will ever use. It is my gold star product. I'm just quoting a few of the things I remember people saying about it. They will not buy another compost. So please, if you've been listening to us and thinking, I don't believe them, give it a go. Just give it one go and see. Have a little look. Go onto our website, read the reviews, see what you think, see what they think about it. Because it's not just us telling you how good it is. It is real people who will tell you how good it is.
And we know that some of you now will, in fact, most of you will never use a different compost. So, David there, 5 stars. The best compost out there. This is my 10th order. Catherine, very good service from the company. Thank you so much. Karen, could not garden without this. Really believe it is the best. Now let's just go to a random page there. Kevin, 5 stars, Lauren, she's many times, still the best so far. Well, Stephen said, lovely stuff, great compost, better than the rubbish in the garden centre. A bit harsh. Bit harsh there, Stephen. And Reg just said, always very good, better still now it's in boxes, less chance of getting torn bags. So it still arrives in bags, but the bags are in boxes.
Yeah, that makes it really good for if you are multi-ordering as well, because obviously you can then just stack them ready for when you're going to use them. So, yeah, we really have thought of as many different things as possible to make your life easier, and it's certainly easier getting this delivered direct to your door than having to do that trip to the garden centre and pick the wobbly wheel on the trolley and get it into the back of your car. And it's annoying, isn't it? It's annoying.
I hate, occasionally I do run out. And I hate having to buy compost.
I know, it's really frustrating, isn't it?
It's
the worst job. Elaine, thank you. She's commenting saying she loves it and it's great. And she's bought the Hostas today.
Good choice, Elaine.
Very good choice.
Yeah, great value on those Hostas.
Great value.
Right, we're back to a couple of really special items. And this is our Salix Weeping Willow Standard.
Yeah.
Has it gone down in price? Hang on. Was it $14.99?
No, I think it was $14.99.
Was it really?
Yeah, I think it was. You're thinking of Charles Lamont. We had the Charles Lamont. Oh, no, that was the Viburnum.
No.
What am I thinking? We did have a different Salix, didn't we? What was it? Oh, we had the Pink Pussy Willow, the Mount Asso.
No, I know, but I'm sure we had this one a few weeks. I don't know. That's a really...
I think he's making it up.
Stu, are you sure it was $14.99 last time? That seems a really good price for me.
It is an amazing price
anyway. Is.
Especially when you think that a lot of work has gone into this, okay, because this has been grafted onto the miniature rootstock, okay, which is a very, very complicated and tricky process. This is, proper horticultural nurseryman work doing this. This is not something that's easy. So a lot of skill, a lot of effort goes into doing this. And what this means basically is that it turns this into an incredibly well-behaved willow tree for your garden.
But a mini willow tree.
But a mini willow tree, indeed. Because if you think about willow trees, obviously they're those massive, great big things you see on the side of riverbanks that get really tall, that we definitely would not be able to have in our gardens. But with the Kilmarnock, which has been around for decades, by the way, this is really well behaved. It's going to live beautifully in modern gardens because it's only ever going to get to 1.5 meters maximum height. And at this time of year, it's super interesting.
Yes.
Because the catkins are starting to form. You can see the buds going all the way down the length of these stems here, and you can see some of them that are really starting to open. And then what you're going to get on these, look, they're not far away.
They're not.
They are going to turn into the furriest, most tactile catkins. This will be a plant you will not be able to walk past without stroking them, because they are just like, they're like bunnies' tails. And then they start to colour up. They start to turn a little bit yellow, and that's the pollen forming. Really heavily pollen-laden catkins here, which then invites the beneficial pollinators into our gardens.
No, I had one of these in my last garden. I had it near a water feature. They liked it there because it used to get quite wet there, and they like to be wet. But in terms of, I remember in terms of pruning, because the branches at some point got too long when on the ground.
Yeah.
But just give it a haircut.
Just take the shears, basically, and give it a little trim around the bottom. Because obviously once the catkins are gone, the leaves will form, so you get that beautiful cascading effect, that lovely weeping willow effect.
And once it all fills out as well, it will get thicker and bigger.
Yeah.
Plenty of branches that you can just chop off and use inside for little ornamental displays as well.
Yeah, and they're really long-lasting as well as ornamental displays. Totally love this
That is a really good price for that today.
I do feel like it's a lower price than it's been.
Yeah, I do.
But anyway, let's go with it.
We may be wrong. Our memory's maybe not as good as it used to be. But that is a really good price at $14.99. Yeah. And that's the Salix Kilmarnock Weeping Willow.
Yeah, I love it.
Been grafted as a standard, so don't think, oh, I can't have a willow tree in my garden. It's going to be 4 metres high. This can never grow big because of the way that's been, I don't want to use the word genetically engineered, that's too complex, but grafted.
Yeah, grafted onto that miniature rootstock. So it'd be a real feature, and you could plant it out if you want to, but it would work equally beautifully in a pot as well, because it's not going to get that big. Yeah. So you really can keep this in a pot.
I'm actually quite excited to think about spring looking at that, aren't you?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And moist soil, but also...
Not waterlogged, but moist.
No, but moist.
Yeah.
And I had mine in kind of semi-shade.
Yeah, I mean, sunny, semi-shade, going to be absolutely fine in both locations.
They're not that fussy, actually, are they?
No,
Let's be honest.
They're really not fussy, and they are winter hardy as well, so they have our lifetime guarantee.
510 326 for the Weeping Willow there. Now we're going to move on to...
Our bay.
Yeah. Do you know, I did go to a garden place the other day, just have a little look.
Yeah.
And their bays look shocking. I thought, how can a bay tree look bad?
My bay looks amazing. Yeah. So I've got a bay tree bush. It's about this size, and it looks fantastic, and it's looked fantastic all winter. I use it all the time when I'm cooking because it is a functional plant.
Right, hang on. I am going to say this, and I am right on this one. This is absolutely a lower price than we did before.
That is a lower price than we've done before.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
This is the lowest ever price we've done on this. I know it is. Yeah, it is. I'm getting confirmation now.
It was $14.99 before.
And
I do remember.
And that was the best price we've done.
$12.99. Sorry, it was $12.99.
Best price ever today. Right now on YouGarden TV, $9.99.
Yeah, and look how
I'm tempted to plant a whole hedge at that price, Bex.
You totally could as well.
Yeah.
Well, you could turn it into a hedge as well. I love the bay tree bush because it's beautiful, it's evergreen, it looks fantastic all year round. Mine has looked brilliant all year round. But I also love that you can take the leaves off here because obviously this is a fantastic leaf to use in your cooking. Soups, stews, bolognese. I mean, honestly, you can use bay flavouring in so many different things. Mine sits just by the back door, round the corner. I can go out any time. I can pick a few of these leaves off here, and then I can go and throw it into my cooking. I love multifunctional things.
Do you know, just to buy that for the use of the bay leaves?
Yeah.
At $9.99. The value on this, and they're normally nearly £30. In fact, should we get on the internet and do a little search?
Yeah, we can do.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's have a little search. Go on, have a little look. See, in a 20 centimetre pot, we want one of about this size.
We've not...
It is real dense evergreen foliage that you get from here. You can actually use it for topiary as well if you're into that sort of thing. You can create hedging with it if you fancy it. You can create kind of formal garden structures with these. They can get quite big if you want them to. There's one in a house around the corner from me that's probably a good 7 metres tall, but these can reach a good 10 metres in height and, you know, probably that in spread as well. They don't have to, though, by the way. You can trim, you can prune, you can maintain the shape very, very easily. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. What does that mean to us? It means that the Royal Horticultural Society, who know a thing or two about plants, they've taken it, they've trialled it, they've tested it, and they have then decided to give it the amazing accolade of Award of Garden Merit. It means it's a proven performer. You can shop. Whoa! You can shop with confidence with this one. Check out this price.
So I have found one as expensive as $99.99.
I look at that website quite regularly as well. And it's a 20 centimetre pot. What does it say for the height?
80.
This is 80.
Yeah, seriously. It's not a pack of 10. It's one. Look.
It's one. Yeah, it is.
That's really expensive.
That's quite a high-end website. I do look at that one sometimes.
I'm trying to find some cheaper ones.
But that's ridiculous price. Honestly, That is an incredible... I mean, we were blown away by the value when we brought it to you at a higher price. Yeah. So now we're bringing it to you at a lower price. We're even more blown away by the value. Mine lives in a pot.
Right.
Because I wanted it near the back door. But if you want to plant it out, you absolutely can
Right, to be fair, there's a big DIY store.
Yes, one of the big ones.
And they have got those reduced at the moment.
It was 25.
And now it's $17.99. That is reduced.
Yeah.
Which is really good.
That's a really good price. Ours is better though.
It is. And if you're a club member, you get ours for $8.99 as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll put it this way, if you can find it cheaper, please shop elsewhere.
Yeah. We don't think you'll find it cheaper, for sure. Good morning, not good morning, it's afternoon now, isn't it? Hello to everybody. Thank you so much for watching us, to our regulars, but also to some new viewers. We are seeing some new people in the chat and watching, so thank you for finding us. We are here every single week. We are here on a Wednesday from 10 to, currently, Wednesday 10 till 1. Haven't we got a special show this afternoon? We've got a special show this afternoon with our head gardener. What time's that going to start?
2:30.
Okay.
So our head gardener, Peter McDermott, he's doing a VIP show, as we call it.
A VIP show. So he's going to be here this afternoon. The usual times that we are currently doing is 10 till 1 on a Wednesday, 10 till 1 on a Thursday, and 10 till 2 on a Sunday. Yeah. We're also we're partnered with QVC, which is
the UK's biggest, best shopping channel.
There you go. I'm going to be there tomorrow in actual fact.
Oh, yes, you are, yes.
So I won't be in the potting shed tomorrow. We have the wonderful Adam, who is an award-winning gardener, so he's going to come and take my place tomorrow.
Yes.
But come and join me if you can on QVC at 5 o'clock. I'm on QVC 2 or QVC Style,
Freeview
it's called.
37.
Indeed. So I'll be doing a full hour of YouGarden products on there.
And then we're both back together this Sunday. So loads happening, and you can always just check our schedule. But it's so lovely to have so many new viewers today. That is an amazing deal, though. $9.99. Some of the things for new viewers, don't forget you have to put the offer code in to get all the promotions and the savings, which is YGTV0424. That is the code for this week. And you'll also get your free gift. This is with every single order today. You will get 150 spring flowering bulbs. We say spring, but it's more like spring, late spring, early summer.
Absolutely. So yeah, these are great to get planted out. You've got 5 different varieties in there, including alliums, including ixia, anemones, muscaries. You know, there's lots in there. I would try and place multiple orders if you can, because you'll get so many displays from those, and that will come back for you every single year.
And then we sell those for £20. So even if you just bought the bay tree today,
that's a great deal, actually.
Yeah, that for $9.99 plus your $4.99 P&P. If you want to save on postage, spend over £40 and we will give you free delivery as well. But yeah, it's lovely to be with each and every one of you. We love it in our potting shed, don't we?
We do. We like it here. It's our favourite place to be. What is special about this table?
Well, we have got...
Oh, I know what it is.
It's a... Hang on, it's buy one, get one free.
It is, yeah.
On all of these.
We've just been talking about amazing value for money, haven't we? So everything on this table has buy one, get one free, which means you put one into your basket, you enter that code that's on your screen, YGTV0424, and we will automatically enter another one into your basket. So for example, if we start with our Agapanthus, it is a pack of 5 bare roots. Put one in your basket, enter the code, you will get 10 bare roots. 10 bare roots, and this is not any old Agapanthus, this is the Africanus
blue. This is the tall one.
This is the big boy.
You know the ones that have the big flowers up to nearly 1 metre in terms of height? This is that exact Agapanthus called Africanus blue. Now, we actually sell this in summer, a more mature plant, potted, about £30 for one.
Yeah, and I think that's an amazing price,
and they sold like that actually during the summer. Yeah. But if you buy them as a bare root right now, you're getting them for the equivalent of £1 each. Now, we're not going to say they'll flower this year, but year 2 onwards, you may start to get flowers. And I can honestly say that Agapanthus flowers are some of the most dramatic ever here in the UK. They originate from South Africa, but they're fully winter hardy in the UK. And the globe of flowers, I call it a globe, you can get between 40 and 100 flowers on that big cluster. And what I really like is that although the heads are big, the stems are strong enough to support them.
Yeah, you don't need any staking with these at all, and they can pretty much deal with our UK weather. You know, I wouldn't put it in the most windy or exposed position, but even still, you know, the stems are really, really strong. I love how many flowers you get on there. I call them a firework explosion because I just think it looks like one of those fireworks mid-explosion. You've got some of the flowers open, you've got some, you can see there, look, the buds ready to open. So I love the way that happens, which also means you get quite long-lasting displays from the flowers that come out of here. You will get multiple stems of flowers, by the way, as these mature and establish. So it's not just one flower per plant, you will get multiples of them. And that happens somewhere between July and September that you get those flowers. You can cut the flowers as well. You can use them as cut flower displays. How much would an Agapanthus africanus blue cut flower display cost?
Oh God,
it would be crazy money.
Well, yeah, my posh supermarket does sell them in summer and they're just ridiculous.
Ridiculous money. Well, with 10 bare roots, if you get the buy one, get one free offer, as these mature and establish, you will have enough to have displays in your garden and also be able to use them as cut flower
So in the first year, they'll just settle in, they'll start to produce more clumps.
You'll get foliage.
Yep. Then they'll die down in the winter time.
That's it, and then they will come back for you next year. They are winter hardy, so they're not something that needs extra protection.
And actually saying that, my Agapanthus hasn't really died down this year.
Hasn't it?
No, there's still some green.
Yeah, I think we had such a mild time, didn't we, during October, November. Even in December it was quite mild.
So they love a sunny position, that's really important, full sun.
And they want restricted roots.
Yes.
So
they want to be squeezed in
Keep them squished in, squish them into a full border, put them into a very small pot. Just make sure that their roots feel like they are being restricted. Yes. Always. That's what they want. They want a hug. But
the value to this whole table is all about value.
Yeah, buy one, get one.
Buy 5, get 5 free on the Agapanthus africanus blue. Right, gladioli next. One of the... Now, this is a great cut flower.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about gladioli inside in a vase, the height, the structure, the stature that these bring is incredible. But we are doing buy 100 and get 100 absolutely free. That is phenomenal. So 200... for £14.98.
Yeah, it's incredible. It really is because, and I do think, you know, this is why we've put this as a buy one, get one free, because you do need a lot of these together. One of them planted on their own is going to look very insignificant, very lonely, very boring, but you will want to plant 25, 30 of them all in a group together to get the most beautiful display. You've got a sweet shop confection of colour going on, really tall flowers that sort of open in succession all the way along the stem. So you get so many flowers per stem on here, and as you say, bringing those indoors as a cut flower, I think is a really pretty display for indoors. Plus, remember, bees adore these, and we got to do our bit for the bees, haven't we?
We have.
Got to do our bit.
So it's so important.
It is.
Yeah, without bees,
we're done for, aren't we?
We really are. So important.
Let's help the bees. Let's plant some gladioli. Make sure you enter the code YGTV0424. Otherwise, you will only get 100 of these.
And these are great, obviously, back of the border. So they are going to go tall, you know what gladiolus are like, but get them back of the border. 630002, and it is a buy one, get one absolutely free. 630002. Now, we've also got an amazing buy one, get one free on our peony. So you actually get... 6.
Yeah. 2 reds, 2 whites, 2 pinks when you do that, enter that code. So you will get 6 peonies included.
Now again, they arrive as a bare root. It's a great time to plant bare roots. These are fully winter hardy, so it doesn't matter, you know, if it's a little bit nippy outside. We always say with bare roots, just the general rule is, don't plant them if the ground is frozen or waterlogged. But apart from that, it's a perfect time to plant them. Now, when you open up the bag, let's be honest, a bare root, you're not going to open up the bag and go, oh, wow, that's so beautiful.
I mean, if you dug that up, you'd think it's just some old bit of root, wouldn't you? But it's an ugly duckling story, which is what we always talk about with these bare roots. This ugly duckling is going to turn into the most beautiful, beautiful flower. You can actually see that there are shoots on this one. This one here, I did see some more. Yeah, this one here. They are the shoots. They are the shoots that are ready to grow into the beautiful peony flowers for you. Now, I think it's really important to grow peonies from their beginning stages, because peonies just don't like to be moved.
No, they don't.
They sulk. They're proper little divas.
They can stop flowering for a few years when you move them, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is why I think buying them in their peony, buying them in their bare root form and starting them off means that you can put them in their forever home right from the beginning. You don't have to move them at any stage. So do try and pick the place where they're always going to live. They will take a little bit of time to establish. So first year, you might get a flower or two. You won't get loads.
No.
But second year on, like your mum's, you were telling us, she got a couple in the first year. Second year, wasn't it like 13 or more?
That was a poppy.
That was a poppy.
But
sorry,
a peony, she did. But she's right. She has got peonies.
Yeah, I'm sure you told us a story about
I would say she got. I think the first year she got a couple. Second year, I would say maybe double figures.
Yeah.
But
so just give it time to establish. You'll get the foliage, you'll get a few flowers, but you will get flowers for years and years after. And actually, it's incredibly low maintenance. Yeah. It's less maintenance than their appearance suggests. Their appearance suggests that they need work, time, effort. They really don't.
But they're such amazing, big, blousy flowers. And, you know, if you haven't got a peony, to get the mixture, to get the different colours as well. I mean,
definitely.
The white, you don't really see many white peonies, actually.
No.
You see a lot more of the pinks.
You want a decent sunny spot for them,
yes.
though, please. A minimum of 6 to 8 hours. Do not try and do what I do, which is shoehorn things into a spot where they don't really want to be.
No, these want to be in the sunshine.
You've got to put them in the sun. You've got to.
They may require a little bit of staking, not always, but some of the flowers can get quite big and heavy.
Yeah.
But amazing value on that one as well. So,
and another buy one, get one free.
Yeah, so you're going to get 6 peonies for just £12.99. Now, astilbes are coming up next.
Lovely. You go round that way then.
Yeah, well, because I grew these. I've got, I mean, I've grown a lot of the things.
I know, I love them.
But I live in a new garden, so it's about, I've lived there, not YouGarden, although it's inspired by YouGarden. But I live in a fairly new garden, and astilbes were one of the first things that I planted as a bare root. And I bought them from YouGarden. Now, even in the first year, they did really, really well. So they like a shaded, well, I say shaded, dapple shade spot. So not full shade, but dapple shade. They like to be moist, so do bear that in mind. So I've got mine in the perfect area of my garden. So I've got a board at the bottom of my garden, and the grass slopes down slightly, so the bottom gets a little bit more wetter, and it's dapple shade, and they've loved it there. So you start to get the foliage coming through in springtime, and then you get the flowers, which are like, they're a little bit feathery plumy. So because you get thousands of little flowers, but they almost look, say, like plumes. And you get those kind of June onwards. And what I love about this selection, I've got just just creams and pinks with the green foliage. With this collection, you actually get reds and purples as well. It's called a Astilbe plum bouquet mix. Now, in the winter, they die down to nothing, so they go underground, they rest, but then they come back bigger and stronger every year. And what you may well need to do, once these are into their year 3 or year 4, is to lift them and actually divide them. And that will really help them kind of reinvigorate themselves and grow bigger and fuller for the following years as well. But they're really easy to grow. You just need a dapple shade area, you need moist soil, and all you need to do is give them a little bit of a feed in their growing season. So again, the value here is working out about £1.30 per Astilbe, 580 058. Buy one, get one absolutely free. And don't forget to get all the promotions on the show. YGTV 0424. All of this table, by the way, is a buy one, get one free. Where's my spring bulbs, Bex?
Over on the compost. Yeah, every single one is a buy one, get one free. So always enter just one into your basket. Put the code in YGTV0424. We will automatically enter the free one into your basket. But what we will also add in is your free gift, which is your spring/summer flowering bulb collection. 150 bulbs included in here of 5 different varieties. Muscari, Ixthia.
There's the Ixthia.
Anemones, you've got tulips, which are the sky-high ones, and you're going to get your allium spherocephalon, the drumstick variety.
So we are talking late spring, early summer,
we
really,
are,
for those.
yes, absolutely.
So they're fine to plant right now. It's
totally.
Not being funny, it's not like crocus that you'd be pushing it now.
You would.
All of that is a late spring, early summer varieties as well. Now, we've also got on our buy one, get one free table.
Yeah, the geraniums.
Oh my word, these are incredible, aren't they?
Love geraniums, just love them for so many different reasons. Hard-working plants, just flower, all the way through from sort of end of May, early June time, right the way through till the first frosts. I still had geraniums in October and into November last year because we had such a mild time, and that seems to be the thing every year. So I think it's extended the flowering season of the geraniums. Lovely mix of colour. Don't mind, they're not fussy. They, pots, borders, fine. Wet, dry, fine. Sunshade, fine. They really don't seem to mind all of these different things. But what they will do is flower for ages, and also they will work as excellent ground cover. Yeah,
because although they might probably go to about 40, 50 centimetres height-wise, but they, width-wise, spread so much further than that. And they were great at just nipping in between the gaps, filling out the beds and the borders.
Yeah, they meander a little bit, don't they?
They've got a gentle nature, haven't they?
Really gentle. They're not bullies. They don't take over.
No, they're very informal in terms of their structure.
Yeah, totally. But so easy to look after.
Things like gerbers, very upright, flower, they do it in rows, don't they? And they're all facing the same direction.
Very neat.
Yes. And these are just more natural.
Yeah, definitely.
A bit more organic.
Adore geraniums, honestly. And the thing is, you will get, even though this is a bare root, you will get displays this year. You will get gorgeous flowers this year. Obviously, it'll get bigger and better as the years go on. But this is actually one that you will get a good, decent display from this year. And again, they're fully winter hardy. They do die down underground in the winter months, but fine for planting right now. And they work at £1 each, Bex. £1 a plant. I know. Just £1 each. 580005. Right. Two of the best sellers today have been the Mimosa and that ridiculously priced bay tree for a tenner. Yeah. How are we doing that? I don't know. I don't know. Why are we doing that at £10? I don't understand. I don't. Right, which one do you want to do first? Should we do Mimosa? Oh, yeah. So let's do Mimosa. I adore this. Right, a few things. The foliage is really, really interesting. Do you not adore just everything? I love it. Do you know what? I just love talking about plants. Plants is the best thing, isn't it? So 2 things on this. The foliage is really, really interesting. You've got this kind of lovely filigree, it's so soft as well. This lovely filigree foliage on here, which it's not solid. It's got this lovely sort of fern-like texture and look to it and feel to it. But and it is evergreen, isn't it? Yeah, it stays totally like evergreen. This all the way year round. But what happens, and it's starting to happen, you can see here, you can see all these lovely little buds that are forming. Those are going to turn into these beautiful, bright yellow sunshine pom-pom flowers. And they're going to cover it. And these, when they're in flower, not only do they look magnificent, the fragrance is extraordinary. It is incredible. Hardy down to -5 in the UK, so you may need to give it some protection depending on where you live and what the weather's like. But I certainly would, if you're getting it now, give it a little bit of protection, until we've got over the, because it's a new one. So just look after it a little bit, and then plant it out, let it get established, and then it will, become more hardy. You won't need to do as much to look after it next year. But you will get hundreds and hundreds of those yellow pom-poms. So many. And although you do see them in the UK, they are a little bit of a rarity. Yes. Yeah. I've got some neighbours who've got a massive tree, a mimosa tree, and it last spring rather. just incredible.
It's like a cloud of yellow in the back of the garden.
And the amount of bees and things that it's going to attract, because it's a real proper wildlife-friendly one.
So it's a little bit new show. You can keep it inside.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect conservatory plant.
Because the fragrance, it would fill a conservatory room.
Absolutely perfect.
Now this, I'm sorry, this bay tree is the lowest ever price today at $9.99.
Yeah, for a really big, well-established bay tree bush, we are talking somewhere between 80 centimetres and a metre tall is how it will be delivered to you. It's evergreen, it's gorgeous, it's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, it's a proven performer, it looks fantastic in your garden, but it's also incredibly functional because you can use the bay tree leaves in your cooking. You've used them, of course. You've used them in soups and stews and bologneses and lasagnas, and there's so many things, and I just love being able to go to my garden and pick those leaves.
Now, if you can find a better value bay tree, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. We had a little search, we can't find one.
We found the prices were that. Well, there was a really big DIY store that had an offer on, and they were at $17.99, which is incredible. And there was one online retailer that we both know, £100, and then there's all the ones in between. But
so
I do think it needs a pot.
Now, we could go for one of the new ones. That's all right. I quite like that. Round April green, indigo green planter. Beautiful patterning on there.
Now I'm feeling this.
He wants the other one, doesn't he?
It's only me.
I can tell. Go on.
I tell you what, because the leaves are quite dark on a bay. Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, that works.
That looks great, don't you think?
All right, that works. Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that is obviously going to fill out in the next few years. That is going to look amazing. And it looks good all year round. You know, I have rough months. Some months I look terrible. You the same, Bex?
No, I was looking at the other plants.
I certainly have days that look terrible.
Well,
but a bay looks good all year round.
A bay looks good absolutely all year
round.
And
low maintenance.
Real winter hardy, lifetime guarantee from us, Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. Just always looks great.
But if you do want those square planters, by the way, you are getting a pair of them. They're brand new. These are actually selected by a head gardener who is with us. We've got an extra show today.
He'll be here at 2:30, won't he? That's not long.
And what have we called the show, Stu? We've called it that good. It's a National Plant Club show. And all the plants in 9-centimetre pots, and they are like literally the most unique, beautiful plants that every garden should have.
Oh, wow.
But it's a bit like a countdown of the top 30.
Very good. I think it's going to be fast and furious, isn't it?
Yeah. But our head gardener is joining us live this afternoon at 2:30.
Awesome.
Right, do like that. I'm going to leave that there. I like that there.
All right, let's get back over to our Leucothoe. Burning Love. It was one of our most popular plants from last week. Looks like it's shaping up to be one of our most popular ones from this week as well. And that's because we've got it on our lowest ever price. We're not going to be able to keep it down here for very long. But also, this one is gorgeously evergreen. Yeah. It's got lovely, bright coloured, reddy, pinky, burgundy foliage when it first comes through. It's winter hardy down to about -20. And it's a perfect plant for either in pots or in borders. -20, that's harsh, isn't it? That is pretty harsh.
We should be okay.
I think we'll be fine.
The only things you really need to know is it's compact, 70 by 70 centimetres. It does need an acid soil. So if your soil isn't acidic, plant it in some ericaceous compost.
That's it, yeah.
Which we have on our website, and you spell it ERICACEOUS.
Yes!
For those of you who don't know, I've been learning how to spell ericaceous. Now, our Hostas collection has been also really popular. If you go for this today, you can get 10 for $9.99. So it's buy 5, get another 5 absolutely free. And these will look great, I would say, in their first year. They may not flower in their first year, but you still get great foliage. Totally, and pretty much that's what we buy Hostas for anyway, isn't it? I think the flowers that you get is the icing on the cake. You know, it's a little bonus. It's a foliage plant, and that's what we want. And it is so lush and healthy and green and beautiful. And this collection gives you a variety of that. You're getting some of the variegated ones. You're getting some of the solid colour ones. You're getting some of the ones with the deep vein
training in there, but it has been carefully selected to give you a really gorgeous variety. Bare roots are simple to plant out. Please don't be put off by a bare root. If you can take a plant from a pot and plant it in the ground, you can do it with a bare root. It's as simple. All you have to do is soak the bare roots for a couple of hours first. It's a simple process.
And we should say all of the packaging, if you ever forget how deep you plant it, spacing, it's on there, so it's suggesting planting depth 6 to 8 inches. Yeah, go with that. And spacing about 28 to 30 inches again.
Well, yeah, because you've got to think how these are going to grow, you know, because they will spread.
Yeah.
They get quite big. So it'll probably look, initially you'll think there's too much space between those, but actually once that foliage starts to grow, they will grow into each other. So yeah, that's about right.
I often think it's a difficult thing when people say how far do spacings, because...
Depends how you like it.
Yeah. What I tend to do is overcrowd things to start with, then end up moving them later. I mean, most plants don't mind being moved, some don't like it, obviously. But if you want to go for the hostas...
Yeah, and they're great for shady areas, by the way, as well.
Yeah, of course.
So they don't mind sun. You can put them in sun, but they actually work brilliantly in a shady spot. So I think this is why a lot of people are going for them.
I connect with hostas, because when I'm on holiday, I always try and find the shade.
Find the shade.
Yeah.
I do more
with my
as I've
colouring,
got
I
older.
do burn quite easily. But... I think shady areas can be tricky in gardens, but hostas make them look amazing.
They do, yeah.
Great problem solver. And thank you to Lane that's gone for those today as well. Loads of new viewers watching as well, so thank you so much. We are back live this afternoon, totally different show at 2:30 with our head gardener, Peter McDermott.
Yeah.
And then we are back tomorrow. We've got loads of new items tomorrow as well, haven't we?
Yeah, there's loads of things. You've got a big selection of roses to bring in tomorrow. I won't be here, unfortunately.
No, so tomorrow I'm joined by Adam Woolcott, and he's a multi-award-winning garden designer. He's won endless gold medals at Chelsea, he's won silver gills. And he's going to be back tomorrow. But Bex is going to be over at QVC, because we also work with QVC. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a show. I'm on at 5 o'clock. I've got a full hour on QVC2 or QVC Style. I think it's channel 37 on Freeview. And yeah, it's a full hour from 5 o'clock. So I'll be in the car. While you're doing this show, I'll be in the car driving down to London. Yeah, so you can watch both. Yeah, can. Watch both tomorrow. Please join us. And come and say hello to Adam tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, Starfish Iris. Yes, now this one's been a really popular one. You all went crazy for this last week. We knew you absolutely would, because when I brought this previously, it sold out instantly. I didn't manage to get my hands on it, and I have got some now this year. I can't wait to plant these out. They are weird, they are wonderful, they're just a rare beauty. They're intricate is the word I'm looking for, and they do actually have some lovely fragrant flowers on there as well. You get those lovely sword-shaped leaves in early summer, and then June, July time is where you will get these flowers. You can get them to come back next year. They do need to be protected from frost though. So you can leave the bulbs to dry out in the pot, or you can lift at the end of the summer, repot, but just basically keep them frost free. The important thing is that these will naturalise and they will multiply quite quickly in actual fact. So if you look after them, you'll get free flowers. They're just fascinating, aren't they? They're so fascinating. Aren't they? The markings are incredible, the colours, the bits around the edge there. They do look like starfish, don't they? And we're both going to be growing those this year. Yeah. Yes. Going to do it. Can't wait to see those. Right. Just quickly, I know we're nearly out of time. We're back at 2:30, don't forget, with a brand new show with our head gardener. But if you want the biggest lilies that we bring you, these are the Skyscraper. And the lilies, in the first year we said they grow to about 4 foot, but year 2 upwards, or onwards I should say, 6 foot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Honestly, these create lily trees, and I'd love you to do a bit of research, please. Have a little search, search for Skyscrapers, search for lily trees, because the price that you've got here today by shopping directly with YGTV is incredible. 57 pence a bulb. Each one of those bulbs has the potential to reach a 6 foot high tree that has 20 plus blooms per
per bulb. And each of those blooms can reach 6 inches in diameter as well. 5 different colour varieties that are beautifully scented.
We just saw the Matisse, my favourite. They're all gorgeous,
love
aren't
they? Yeah, but I think the mixture of them together, standalone, love the Matisse on its own because it's got that lovely sort of cream edge to it. But actually, if you think about all of those colours mixed in together, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? And they do come to you, by the way, in the separate bags.
Yes.
They are all labelled so you know which one is which.
And
so
actually,
if you are colour coding your garden, you can do that.
But also, if you didn't need them all in your garden, you could easily separate those with a friend, couldn't you?
Totally, yeah.
Now, if you remember, we did start off today with a very different type of show. We started off with the houseplant selection, and they've been really popular.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
pleased to say.
Love houseplants.
So don't forget, they're all on our website. YouGarden, our tagline is gardening for everyone. So even if you don't have a big garden, if you don't have a garden, we've got a great selection of houseplants. Some real beauties and very easy to grow as well. So they're all on our websites if you missed them earlier. And actually, one of the most popular has been the
Monstera,
the monkey leaf.
Yeah.
And that's the one. Remember, it's a cheese plant basically, but
it's
gets
a baby.
Yeah, and it gets the holes even on the immature leaves.
Correct, yeah. So it's much more compact compared to its cousin, the Deliciosa. So yeah, only about 1 metre we're talking about.
Great.
But it does have the fenestration, the holes in the leaves from baby leaves, whereas with the Deliciosa, they need to mature before you'll get those characteristic holes in there. So I think, you know, it's been popular because a lot of us don't have the space for the bigger plants. You know, we've got smaller spaces.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is. That's the one if you want that.
The Monstera monkey leaf.
Love it.
Got some great reviews on our website.
Can be a climber or a trailer. It depends what you want.
It's really attractive, isn't it?
I love it.
Yes.
Only $9.99. That's incredible. Do remember to use our code, though, in order to get the savings. YGTV0424 will give you that saving. But also make sure that you add in that code in order to get your free gift.
So the code is really important because it unlocks all of the extra promotions and savings. It changes every week. This week's is YGTV0424. But your free gift is an amazing 150 spring and summer flowering bulbs. Now tomorrow Bex is going to QVC. I'm going to be here with Adam Woolcott, award-winning gardener. And if you've got any questions whatsoever, jot down the email. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. We would always love to hear from you. And if you ever want to follow Bex and I on social media, please do. I'm Shaun Ryan, presenter and plant man. And you'll find me as Bex Edwards, My Garden, or Rebecca Bex Edwards. Pretty much if you search both of those, you'll find us on Facebook and Instagram. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are back this afternoon. The head gardener is going to be here, Peter McDermott. Dun, dun, dun. It's a really different show, actually. Best behaviour. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a marathon. How many plants are we going to show, Stu? 30. It's like a countdown, okay? Yeah, I don't think you're going to get a word in at all. I don't care. I've still got my cough. I'll just nod. So yeah, we've got Peter McDermott live this afternoon, head gardener, 2:30 with a very special show. Bex joining on QVC tomorrow, 5 o'clock in QVC Style. And we'll be back on Sunday at 10. Yes, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 in the morning. Take care.